That was Questa o Quella from Rigoletto, in which Enrico Caruso made his American debut in 1903 at the Metropolitan Opera in New York as the Duke of Mantua. He went on to tour the world and performed more than 600 times at the Met. He was so central to the success of the Met that his illness could jeopardize the season's budget. In his 17 seasons at the Met, from 1903 to 1920, he sang so many opening nights that it took Placido Domingo 31 years with the Met to achieve the same number. Caruso began his career in provincial Italian companies, but after an audition for Giacomo Puccini, who became his mentor, his engagements improved. He made his La Scala debut in 1900 at the age of 27, with Arturo Toscanini conducting, then Covent Garden, and eventually the Met.
So, this is the year of 2021, and we wanted to commemorate the centennial anniversary of the death of Enrico Caruso in 1921, the Italian tenor from Naples who changed the way people would hear opera and music in general through phonographic recordings at the turn of the 20th century. It also marks the centennial anniversary of the birth of Mario Lanza, the American tenor from Philadelphia who would bring music into homes across the country through radio and television broadcasts.
Canzone Napolitana, or Neapolitan song, simply put, a term for a song that is in the Neapolitan dialect. With the rebirth of Neapolitan songs in the 1880s, Caruso, in his teens, got his start singing these songs at popular music cafes in Naples after a long day of working in his father's factory. These next two songs, by Francesco Paolo Tosti, are in the Neapolitan style, but sung in Italian. We will get to some in the Neapolitan dialect a bit later in the program.
Cielo
Caruso was given the honor of being the first singer for whom a song was written especially for the purpose of making a recording. Opera composer Ruggero Leoncavallo penned La Mattinata especially for Caruso. Leoncavallo himself is at the piano for this recording. Here are a few quotes for you to enjoy while listening.
You can see on the picture, this is Caruso with a Victrola. That was a gift from the Victor Talking Machine Company. With Caruso known as being the greatest tenor of the 20th century and the dawn of phonograph recordings, he was able to reach an audience broader than artists of the 19th century, making the name Enrico Caruso a household name. These acoustic recordings were the foundation laid for the next generation of singer and artist, a generation that included Mario Lanza, which we will talk about soon. Caruso's recordings were also effective advance publicity, since he was in demand wherever there was a major opera house or concert hall. In the same year as his Met debut, he began his lifelong association with the Victor Talking Machine Company, which later became RCA Victor. He made his first American records in 1904, having signed a lucrative financial deal with Victor. Caruso was also heard live from the stage of the Metropolitan Opera House in 1910 when he participated in the first public radio broadcast to be transmitted in the United States. His recording career ran in tandem with his Met career, both bolstering each other. With the popularity of the Victrola, Caruso was in the right place at the right time. As America rode through World War I into the age of technology, the collaboration of Caruso and the Victrola brought great success to each, in which Caruso almost single-handedly put the Victrolas in homes throughout the world. Another interesting fact is that Caruso was so beloved that tickets for his performances were unobtainable. So people subscribed to the whole season just to be sure to get to hear Caruso sing. And ever since then, the habit of season subscriptions has endured to this day. Mario Lanza and the power of technology. So by the mid-20th century, with the advent of more technology, came advances in radio and television broadcasting, which was the platform Mario Lanza needed to penetrate every home in America through his expansive recordings, radio shows, MGM musicals, and television appearances, making operatic repertoire accessible to every American. He was also in the right place at the right time.
This recording of La Donna e Mobile from Verdi's Rigoletto is a two-verse aria that I have split in two. So, Caruso sings the first verse, and Lanza sings the second verse, each with orchestra. Listen to the technique of both singers and the differences in recording quality.
Qual piuma al vento, muta da certo di pensiero, sempre una amabile d'improvviso, un fialto in riso menzognero. La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta da certo sempre misero chi a lei s'affida, chi le confida, mal cauta il cuore, pur mai non sentesi felice appieno, chi su quel seno non li può amore. La donna immobil, qual più malvento, mutava pensier, di pensier,
Many of the operas that Caruso sang became popular, establishing a place for composers such as Puccini and Leoncavallo, a Verismo composer, in the standard repertoire. Much like Caruso's voice increased the sales of the Victrola, which made Caruso a household name, his performances of the new operas helped establish contemporary composers with American audiences. Composers chose Caruso to create the tenor roles in their operas, such as Francisco Cilea's Adriano Lecouvreur and Puccini's La Fanciulla del West. Caruso also sang the leading tenor role in Puccini's Madama Butterfly for the Met premiere in 1907, which had gone through many revisions since its debut. Interestingly, Mario Lanza made both his operatic debut and final appearance on the professional opera stage as Pinkerton in Puccini's Madama Butterfly at the New Orleans Opera. He never again returned to the operatic stage. This next aria is in the Verismo style of emotional singing. It's more declamatory and blends singing with shouting, sobbing, and laughter. It is also one of Caruso's signature roles, Canio in I Pagliacci. In fact, Mario Lanza as a child showed a strong interest in opera and listened to his idol Enrico Caruso's recordings, especially Vesti la Giubba, which became his own self-described lucky aria. I will sing as a commedia dell'arte character named Pagliaccio, the clown, as he expresses his personal heartache of his unfaithful spouse.
Recital, mentre preso dal delirio, non so più quel che ricordo. sforzati. Ah! Sei tutto un uomo. Tu sei pagliaccio.
Get to drink. Water. Mario Lanza's start. So we already learned that he listened to a lot of Enrico Caruso's recordings as a young child. By the time he was 16, he learned parts from numerous operas, especially from listening to recordings, and at 21, he sang at Tanglewood with Leonard Bernstein. After 3 years entertaining troops in World War II, he signed a contract with RCA Victor. His big break came in 1947 when he sang a concert at the Hollywood Bowl, and Louis Mayer of MGM signed him to a lucrative 6-contract deal. The same year, RCA added Leonard Bernstein, Isaac Stern, and Robert Merrill. His first MGM musical and film, That Midnight Kiss, with Katherine Grayson, was in 1949, and his first RCA recordings were released at the same time and voted the operatic recordings of the year and made him a star overnight. This was a turning point in his career because he turned down offers to debut at La Scala in Milan, the San Francisco Opera, and the Metropolitan Opera.
Just like Caruso sang Neapolitan songs throughout his operatic career, so did Lanza throughout his Hollywood movie career. Mario Lanza idolized Caruso so much that he considered himself the next Caruso, and that he often sang these next 2 songs in his concerts, which will be sung in the Neapolitan dialect.
Il
The Great Caruso. In the early 1950s, Lanza launched 2 million selling singles and 2 musicals, The Toast of New Orleans and The Great Caruso. A recording of 8 opera arias was released under the title of The Great Caruso, and it quickly became the first collection of operatic arias ever to sell more than 1 million copies. A concert tour of Lanza singing music from The Great Caruso grossed more money than any other performer, with every venue selling out as soon as tickets went on sale, and all before the movie even opened. The movie broke all box office records during its 10-week run at Radio City Music Hall, and it went on to become MGM's most profitable film for 1951 and one of its biggest moneymakers of all time. The most enduring legacy of The Great Caruso is the influence it had on the careers of many young tenors, such as Luciano Pavarotti, Placido Domingo, Jose Carreras, Richard Leach, Jerry Hadley, and Roberto Alagna.
This sentence isn't in the script. This is probably one of my favorite movies. The following clip is from The Great Caruso, as Lanza portrays Caruso in a music cafe in Naples. This is La Danza by Rossini.
Come and sit down.
No, I have much business to attend.
Ah, see. I see you got money in your pockets, and I see you got no time for old friends, huh?
You speak foolish.
It was the fun in the old days, huh, Enrico?
A man must use his head, Fucito. People have to eat. To eat, you must have money.
They eat. And they eat good, too. And they drink champagne.
Who are they, merchants?
Merchants, singers from the San Carlo Opera House.
From San Carlo?
Alfredo Brazzi, the tenor, and Carmen.
No.
Enrico, why don't you let them hear what a real singer sounds like?
I can't sing anymore.
Lost your voice?
Too much flour in the throat.
Here, wet it down.
Still too dry.
Is it good? Hey, younger man. You use your voice nicely.
Grazie.
You've had some training?
I was taught by Father Bronzetti.
Oh. And where do you sing now?
Well, I'm not really a singer. I'm a flour merchant.
Oh, with that a chest, with that a voice?
So what I tell him, a gentleman, he can sing anything. High, low, dash, andante, anything.
Fucito, these men are professionals.
Oh, go ahead, young man. Never mind that.
Of course, senor, of course.
Mezzo mare, mamma mia, si salterà. L'ora è bella per danzare, chi in amor non mancherà. E già la luna in mezzo mare, mamma mia, si salterà. L'ora è bella per danzare, chi in amor non mancherà. Già la luna in mezzo mare, mamma mia, si salterà. Presto in danza, tondo, tondo, donne mie, venite qua. Un garzon bello e giocondo a ciascuno toccherà. Finché in ciel brilla una stella e la luna splenderà. Il più bel con la più bella tutta notte danzerà. Mamma mia, già la luna in mezzo al mare. Mamma mia, si salterà. Frinche, 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 mamma mia, si salterà. Frinche, 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 mamma mia, si salterà. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, tra la 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 la, la 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 la, e tra la 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 la.
In 1950, Lanza recorded Be My Love, which appeared in the Toast of New Orleans and went on to give him his first million-selling gold record and firmly established his worldwide status as a major recording artist. At this point, Mario Lanza was the most famous tenor in the world.
This need that you and you alone create.
As a recording artist, Mario Lanza was known for doing most of his recordings with one take. For those of you who were here last year who had to make a lot of video recordings for opera and all of your juries and performance class, that was so difficult, and you had to take many, many takes. One take, crazy. He also learned to use the microphone to his advantage by singing soft and sweet in one moment, then delivering his vocal power when passion was needed in the words. His artistry and emotion developed from his interpretation of the words. Another interesting fact is that he consistently sold more records at the time than Frank Sinatra. Since Caruso recorded this song in French and Lanza in English, Marcus will be singing one verse in each language. Here are some Mario Lanza quotes for you to enjoy while listening to Because. So we have just one little encore for you. And it's a very famous Neapolitan song. I think you will recognize it, but it's O Sole Mio.